Sadly, and it's a shame because Halloween's probably my favorite holiday, but I haven't dressed up for it in quite a while because I procrastinate terribly. So I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go as like this amazing thing, but then like the week before Halloween, I'm like, I have absolutely no time to put this together. So the last time I wore when I was a kid, and this is a true story, especially given now who I am, I was terrified of everything frightening when I was a kid. So like the mummy, the werewolf, you know, the vampires, the staples, I could never go for Halloween because they scared me. So ironically, as a kid, I always dressed as a clown. Now I am terrified of clowns.
Which is really scary. Yeah.
So there's entire scrapbooks my mother has that I can't look at anymore. I'm like, that's me! Oh God! My favorite costume actually is my boyfriend's. He dresses as Captain Harlock. And he makes a really sexy Harlock, by the way. But this year we had trick-or-treaters, and we had several great like trick-or-treater quotes from, because I get a lot of people in our neighborhoods. One, I had two people dressed as Grell and as CL from Black Butler come to my door, and I answered, and my heart stopped because I'm like, oh God, they found me. But I said nothing, and these poor little girls had no idea. So I'm like, oh, here's some Mike and Ike's for you. So that was one thing. Another great quote was some little kid was talking to his sister, and we were passing out Mike and Ike's, and they're like, oh my God, they have Mike and Ike's! Adrian, get your ass up here! Also, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old Batman and Robin. The first thing he said, trick or treat, I'm Batman, he's Robin, high five. And then when my boyfriend started answering the door in his Harlock costume, someone's like, oh, you look pretty good, man. Are you a Power Ranger? So that was Halloween this year.
This picture the two cosplayers get to his door, they're walking down, is it autograph? What's this crap?
Okay, happy Halloween.
Growing up, I usually just wore the little store-bought stuff, so it wasn't that big a deal. But later on, when I started getting into theater and stuff, and I got a little makeup kit and some latex, my favorite thing that I ever did is I made myself up with latex as a decomposing body. So latex, and the skin hanging off, and that was kind of cool. But my favorite costume ever as a little kid was my son had done a healthy foods pageant at his elementary school, and he had played this box of cereal. You see where this is going. So we were trying to figure out the costume. So what we did was we put him in his box of cereal. I made him up with the kind of Ulquiorra kind of ghosty face, and put blood and gave him a little plastic dagger and went as a cereal kid.
That's brilliant.
Mine can't beat that. My favorite costume as a kid was I was usually like a bumblebee or something like that. My grandmother on my father's side used to make my costumes, and when I was like maybe 5, I was obsessed with Daisy Duck, and so she made me these giant bloomers, like a little tail, like a little duck butt, and then I had a little T-shirt and these giant felt feet to tape over my shoes, and then she made me this giant felt Daisy Duck hat that I dropped in the toilet. Because I was like, you're like little and you're a baby, and so I dropped it in the toilet, but I was like, I love Daisy Duck. I don't care. Like when I came out, my mom was like, it was a deuce, man. It was so I was Daisy Deuce.
Please don't top that.
Mine's actually really nerdy. I can't think of any of the stuff from when I was a kid, but I am a history nerd. And one of my best friends is also a history nerd. So one year we decided we were going to go as, well, she was recognizable. I don't think I was. I have a thing for King Henry VIII and the whole story about his wives and Anne Boleyn. And so I went as Anne Boleyn. I created this huge costume. I had the necklace, everything. And she went as Marie Antoinette. and then we bloodied our necks. We were the decapitated queens. And we went to all these different places, and nobody got it, and we finally went to a British pub. And then all our drinks from that.
Most of my costumes are always like homemade. I had the mother who was like, I'll make it for you. And everything. I guess my favorite one was when I was in my Pokemon craze and I wanted Ash. I broke my Pokeball, but that's okay. Because, you know, Pikachu follows him around, so. And my girlfriend is trying to get me and convince me to go as Nightwing from the DC Comics eventually, and I don't know. I'm not ready.
Okay, this one should be a little bit quicker. What was the one type of candy you most enjoyed getting?
Twix.
Butterfinger.
Reese's peanut butter cups.
Payday.
Crunch bars.
Woo!
Starburst and peanut butter cups.
Good for you for liking cherry.
All right, moving to a closer holiday. What's your favorite side dish at Thanksgiving?
I'm hungry.
I'm sorry about all the food questions.
He's got Reese's peanut butter cups.
Don't tell him that.
My Thanksgiving are the side dishes because we don't do the dead bird. We're vegans and we don't. And I'm getting booed and I'm done.
Hey, it's just more turkey for you.
Yeah, nothing with a face or a mom. But yeah, we do all the side dishes and like it's all about the side dishes. So.
Yeah, I usually show up and help out at Thanksgiving, and so I'm known in my family for making really, really awesome mashed potatoes with like garlic and cheese and those potato skins, like 3 kinds of. It's like this gourmet recipe, and now like everyone eats it, and I have to make it, and it takes like 2 hours to make. I'm like, well, why did I start doing this? But that's like my favorite, which sounds terribly egotistical, but it's like they're good potatoes. It's my favorite, so I always make a little more, so I have a little pot that no one else can get to. It's like under my chair. I'm like, anyone want seconds? Too bad.
Sage stuffing. Yeah, especially, sorry, Wendy, but especially if it's cooked in the bird. Oh,
There you go.
yeah, so that's my favorite. I could eat that for weeks. Except it'll kill you.
You'd be surprised what you can eat. Doesn't kill you.
I could eat General
I think we'd be
Tso's chicken
surprised what
every
would be.
meal for the rest. I could eat General Tso's chicken for every meal for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
It's about all it take.
I'm really hungry. Whenever like a smaller girl is like, I'm really hungry, everyone's like, shit, she's hungry. My favorite is my mom's sausage stuffing. She makes the stuffing with sausage and dried apricots and nuts. It's amazing. My mom's an excellent chef. She's really good. I like all of her stuff. I had my siblings and my mother to my house last year for Christmas, and I was like, I'm gonna make the stuffing, Mom. I burnt it, but she was like, I know, honey, I brought some. It's in the car. She had the backup. She was like, it's in the cooler.
Good mom. Just looking out for you. I'm kind of sad about mine because my mom makes these little sausage balls. It's actually an appetizer that she sets out. It's just like, it's so easy. It's like spicy sausage and Bisquick and cheese, but they're awesome. But I don't eat meat anymore. And that's the only thing that I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. So I'm thinking about. I told her this year. I was like, I'm gonna go buy soy sausage, and you're gonna make sausage balls with soy. She's not very excited about it, but it's gonna happen.
I know it's not really a side, but I call it a side because I take it when no one's looking. I like chocolate chip pumpkin bread. Ooh. So when it's, on the side, everyone's like, oh, look, it's there. I'm like, I know, right?
All right, great. Now I'm hungry too.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
Isn't everyone hungry?
Yeah.
We need bacon dogs. Or tofu dogs wrapped in
Tofu bacon. Yes.
tofu dogs.
Tofu chicken.
No faith in Have you guys heard that new most interesting man in the world ad? His turducken is a duck wrapped in a chicken, wrapped in a turkey, wrapped inside the original duck. Okay. Do you prefer to go out and party on New Year's Eve or spend a nice quiet evening at home?
You know me, I'm party animal. You know. I'm home with the Downies and yo, word.
Did you just say you were home with the Downies? Because I'm pretty sure that's not PC.
Yeah.
He's talking about the laundry
no,
detergent.
There's a little known fan group
okay.
for that detergent.
It's okay. You're very pretty.
So you're not a goer outer?
The boy, we've been over it. Handsome.
Handsome.
I think my favorite thing to do for New Year's Eve is when Chris Sabat decides to have a party at his house. Because then I don't have to have a party at my house. And we can wreck his house, and it's great. But he has a baby now, so that's probably not good.
Your house is getting wrecked for New Year's. True story. I love to go out on New Year's. I think it's awesome and one of the most fun holidays ever because I really do like holidays. I love holidays. I don't like Christmas as much because there's so much work that goes into Christmas. Like wrapping the presents and like you're like after you've gotten all of them and you have them under your tree and you're like, look, they're beautiful and they're arranged properly and the color looks good and they're gonna sit there for another 24 hours because I procrastinated too long and all of my hard work is gonna be messed up. I go out on New Year's. It's okay.
I usually what we like to do is I like to have a few friends and family over at the house and just take all the car keys and drink ourselves. Interesting. One year we spent New Year's Eve at Walt Disney World.
Oh my God.
This was the coolest. We were on the lake of the right around there. We got there, got our spot a couple hours early because you can't. I don't know if you've ever been there, but if you get there right before it all happens, you can't see anything, especially if you're short. Sorry.
You're very handsome.
But we ended up meeting like this family from Colombia who were there visiting. They all spoke English, and it was really great. So we're meeting all these wonderful people, and the family from Colombia had they had their grandmother with them, and she was in a wheelchair, very stately, beautiful older woman, very stately. And she turns to me and says, "Would you like some juice?"
Yes.
I said, "Okay," and she pulls out her little water bottle and pours me some juice and hands it to me, and it had to be 25-year-old single malt scotch. This old lady knew how to party. And then the interventions start with the lasers and their fireworks, and they do the usual thing, and then it stops, and then the countdown starts. And and it counts down to New Year's, and suddenly, at the end of a fireworks display where they like shoot off everything they've got left.
Yeah.
This is what this was like for 15 minutes.
Wow.
It was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen, and then we went on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I'm not a big partier. I don't like being at parties with large groups of people because it's loud and obnoxious, and the music usually sucks.
So of course, an anime
and
convention
so-
is the best place to be.
Well, that's different. And then I'm the center of attention. So that's in parties I have to work for it. But so we tend to kind of get together with a small group of friends and pick a channel to count down. But I would love to go. I'd love to do New York at Times Square. Just for the
Rena does
experience.
that
I
all
would
the
love to do that. But other than that, no, nothing really terribly interesting for New Year's.
I'd love to do Times Square, but then I look at everybody shivering and freezing, and I'm like, suckers.